our work expanded beyond educational support to housing support, and then ultimately mental health supports. A lot of our families, they get 2 hot meals at school every day, and what was that going to look like without that option for mom and her kids?
I was really stuck thinking, how are we going to be able to make things a little bit easier for the families that we're working with, since we couldn't be in the spaces that we usually were in to do that kind of thing.
A lot of our students had not yet received the technology they needed for virtual online learning. Internet connectivity was a huge challenge.
We worked on adapting a model where we could interact with students virtually.
And there was, like I said, a student who was in just a great need of just needing that in-person support, needing those social interactions that they weren't getting through virtual learning. So we had somebody go out to that child's home, and then we followed all, COVID guidelines of making sure that we were 6 feet apart, wearing masks. And we basically set up a table outside of their house. And we did tutoring outside on their porch.
In a normal year, our school districts do a really great job in identifying families facing housing instability. At the beginning of the year, requests for transportation are sent out, and if an address is changed, it's a very specific form that's sent to families to gauge whether they are facing housing instability or homelessness. We're all at home though now, and there is no need for busing and transportation to school. So the school's main source of identifying families is no longer in place. For many of our students, this has been a lost year. They have not done well. They have not completed the work and the credits that they need to move forward. And that is also giving them, is also increasing their levels of desperation, of hopelessness, of uncertainty about what their life is going to look like moving forward.
Students who already struggled with their social skills, that wasn't being built upon because they weren't placed in an environment where they could grow those skills. So I think that was very hard for them within their virtual learning. I think a lot of students then built a lot of anxiety when it came to doing their virtual learning through school by using their camera as their main source of interaction. It was just ended up being another factor that played into the life that made things a lot difficult.
All of our students signed up to college in the training programs that they're at for in-person learning. And they didn't have a choice when it moved online. And for some of our students, when the dorms closed, they found themselves homeless again. I'm no longer homeless. I'm moving into the dorm and I have an address. I have a stable place where I'm going to be. And now the dorms are closed and I can't, where am I going to go? That was a great challenge for many of our students. And while many have adjusted, some have not. At the onset of the pandemic, this young woman and her mother were not getting along well at all. And mom kicked her daughter out, and she was bouncing around for a while and wasn't sure what her future looked like at all. And the fact that we were able to connect with her and regularly meet with her and provide her with the support that we adjusted. A lot of the support that we offered to her, we typically wouldn't be offering in years past. She's been accepted to college. She has her financial aid package. She is in the midst of completing her Hope Through Learning Award application now. And she's hopeful for her future.
I am so energized by the collaborations that we have made during this time. The other organizations that we've worked with, the other community partners, the new families, the students, and even this new way of providing programming to the mix of what we hope to continue to do now going forward into the summer. All of this has really energized me in a way to think more creatively about the work that we do. And it's also reminded me of how critical and important it is to be able to do the things that we do, and how honored I am to be able to work with the families that we work with every day and the students that we get to work with.
Zoom is going to be a part of our work. Virtual meetings are going to be a part of our work. Even in a post-pandemic world, we can do a whole lot here.
Through virtual learning, we were able to help a family build a better relationship with the school that their child was going to. So we were able to have that parent build a better connection and interaction with the teacher by creating like a Zoom meeting, and then they can meet in person over Zoom and have a conversation with one another and how we can help support that student. And now that parent is talking, to the teachers almost on a regular basis to make sure that they're being a better support system.
We built a lot of great relationships over the course of the pandemic in response to crisis that we're going to maintain moving forward.
I made a lot of friends with a lot of great organizations and a lot of great people, and I'm very hopeful that those relationships will continue in the years ahead. What the pandemic has, I believe, brought is an awareness that all of our mental health needs to be a priority, and self-care, and that it's not a sign of weakness or shame to ask for help around these matters. So I'm encouraged by our students and our families going to be able to access more supports for their mental health than they had prior.
At HCEF, we're all about creating hope through learning, and we've really done a lot in this time where everyone was feeling disconnected to help build new bridges and to build new connections throughout the community during this difficult time. We've really come together in a lot of wonderful ways, both with community partners, with schools, with other family members and students in ways that we hadn't before. And I'm hopeful for those relationships and how they can help drive our work going forward to make it more impactful and make it more meaningful.